BB10101 just followed.
Never mind, we're not one follower away. I forgot you unfollowed me like 2 weeks ago. We did it. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Alright, well I guess I'll unpin the message. You were waiting, weren't you? You wanted to be the one. Thank you for the follow. Alright, we hit the goal. That'll be... when will I schedule that? This weekend, probably? That'll probably be this upcoming Saturday? Right? Yeah, nothing will be on Saturday, yeah. Alright, this Saturday, probably. Assuming I have nothing to do. I'll let the ads run, and then I'll start the stream. Came here by pure luck. Alright, ads are over. Now, what are we gonna do for 500 followers? Who knows? That's not gonna happen for a while. I forgot to turn those off. I'm gonna refund that. I gotta turn those off for this stream. Sorry. How do I even do that? So, it's down here. I gotta turn some of these off for this stream. Specifically. Pretty much all the ones that make me do shit need to be turned off. Alright. Because this stream is it's important because the GAN 4x4 is here. And I am going to be I'm going to be finishing, well, I guess making the video tonight. I have a lot of the video filmed. I have all the footage filmed. I need to finish writing out the script. I need to edit all of it, and I need to, you know, get it ready for tomorrow. So I need to finish, like, I need to do more solves on this thing. So I'm gonna be only solving this, and I guess I'll be solving some of the other 4x4s, just for, you know, comparison's sake throughout the stream. So no redemptions, apologies. I'm holding the cube wrong. I was gonna save that bar, but then I realized I didn't care. Fuck's sake. Terrible start to the stream. God damn it. I sent the older version? I didn't. This is not the older version. May as well be, though. I mean, this should be the older version. I don't know how. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know how this cube released as is, with them thinking that it was finished. Felt to me like they hit a deadline and we're just like, all right, we hit the deadline. Whatever. Push out the prototype. This feels like a prototype. This cube feels unfinished. It's a absolute tensioning nightmare. Is what it is. Good luck tensioning this cube to make it anything like remotely usable. Elden tomorrow? Oh, that's tomorrow? I didn't know that. I wonder if there's any YouTubers that I watch who would actually play it. Probably not. So I will go not knowing anything about it, because I'm not playing it myself, and nobody that I watch is probably going to play it, so... Silksong shadow drops Deldrin, bruh. That would be... If they shadow drop it... You know, I feel like they have to at this point. Right, I feel like at this point you have to shadow drop it because of the fucking memes. It would be so funny if they shadow dropped it. And I feel like at this point that's just, you have to do it. Would I feel like the game is big enough to where it wouldn't significantly harm them as a studio. Like, you know, if they don't get enough, it's not like there's gonna be a lack of hype. You know, it's like, oh, we didn't promote this game well enough, we didn't hype it well enough, the game failed. That's not... Oh, excuse me, Jesus. I don't think that's a factor. With that, I feel like if they shadow drop it, it would be almost a bigger deal, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a... I don't know how to generate hype around things. I don't know. They didn't promote it at all. Oh, I know, but like, do they need to? Like, it's so... Like, everywhere you go, everyone's talking about like Silksong when's Silksong coming out? Silksong's never gonna come out, bro. Like, everyone, like, they don't need to promote it. Is like, that's kind of my point. It's like, do they need to at all? Probably not. So would a shadow drop hurt them? Probably not. I'm saying theoretically, if they were to come out and say, like, if they were to come out with a trailer and drop a release date and be like, Silksong coming out in blah blah blah, would that be any better for them as a company than if they just shadow dropped it? That was my question. If they release a trailer and a release date, is that gonna be... Is that gonna make the game do better than if they just dropped it? Maybe? Probably. I mean, that's typically how promotion works. But also, my point was, I don't know. Like, I feel like the game is so famous, they don't need to do any of that. They can just release the game. Oh yeah, like just pull a Scott Cawthon and just like release it like early. Like just set a release date and then be like, ah, fuck the release date. Here you go. Has Scott ever actually released a game on schedule? He always announces a release date and then gets impatient and drops it. Shit. Scan at my calendar companies. I feel like I'm adapting better to this thing. But it's not, I don't know. I haven't been talking much about the cube because there's no one here who's asking me any questions about the cube. But it's complicated. The relationship between me and this cube is complicated. Fuck happened there? That's parody. How do I explain what the fuck this cube even is? It feels unfinished. That's the best description I have for it. It doesn't feel like a well-balanced cube. It doesn't feel like it doesn't want to work with itself. The cube is working against itself. Maybe that's a good description. Like, how is that not a sub 40? Because the cube just didn't want to listen to me. And you can chalk that up to a skill issue, but it usually doesn't take this long to adapt to the turning style of the cube. Like, I know it says 70 solves on the session. That's just from today. I've done 70 solves on this session today. I've done at least 50 or so untimed solves today. And yesterday I did at least 60 or so untimed solves, or also, like, time solves on a different session. I set the session up just this morning. So I've done at least 200 solves on this thing, at minimum. And it should not take 200 solves to adapt to the turning style of a cube. And this thing is still, like, giving me issues. It shouldn't take that long, man. Like, I'm just kind of coming to the realization this thing is just kind of not good. It's not, the problem is it's not, like, horrendous. Like, there's flashes and there's solves where I'm like, this cube is flowing really nice and it feels really good. And it's just kind of, it's flowing, it's going, it feels nice, I'm happy with it. And then, like, I'll try to do an algorithm and the cube just, like, completely shits itself. Or next solve, like, during 3-2-3, the cube shits itself. And it's like... yeah, I guess that's a good way to describe it. The main issue is the tensioning. There's a tensioning issue and a corner cutting issue. The tensioning issue, I have no fucking clue how this cube is such a nightmare to tension, or why this cube is such a nightmare to tension. It's just, like, I don't know what the fuck they did. That's its own big problem. The other problem that I do know what the problem is there's a lot of internal catching going on. And it's like, oh, that's weird. Why is there internal catching going on? If you look at the internals of this thing, you will immediately be like, oh, that's why there's internal catching going on. One look at the inside of this cube and you understand immediately why it is like, why it is how it is. Where did I send... like, here, hold on. No. Open link, and no. Click's sake. No. Open link. Here, can I, like, can I do this? Does it show the images on the screen? No, it doesn't. Hold on. It would if I do this. Here. So, here's the core of the cube. It has this sort of double layer thing going on in here, which is they copied pretty much directly from their 5x5. Here's another image. Here's a centerpiece. Okay, this is a corner. Behind it is an edge, and this is a center. So it's kind of like a... It's like... oh shit, you can't see. It's like these three pieces, like this. Oh, it's like these three pieces right here, in a way. And you can see what's happening here is this is the center, and it has this little foot coming down, and it has this little bit reaching underneath here, which doesn't seem like a problem, but I can almost guarantee you there's also like a, you can kind of see it here, there's also like a gap here for this piece to slide through. It kind of grabs under here and it slides through. And the reason this is a problem is because it just adds so much more friction and points of contact inside the core. And when you add more points of contact, you introduce more places for potential issues. And I guarantee you, one of those areas is there's some internal catching going on. And like, no shit, look at the fucking core. If you can design a core that looks like that without any internal catching, congratulations. But GAN couldn't, okay? There's catching going on. I understand that they're copying from the 5x5 because their 5x5 was really good, but a 5x5 is different from a 4x4, okay? You can get away with shit like that on a 5x5 just because of the way that the pieces interact with each other. But on a 4x4, there's so many pieces that are non-visible and only internal. You can't have pieces interacting with each other like that. Because they're causing issues. So the cube is like locking on the inside, and then also the tensioning is a nightmare. So the cube is hard to tension, and it locks up constantly. And when you're trying to set up a cube, those are possibly two of the most infuriating things to have. Okay, because here, if a cube doesn't turn good, then you can just be like, alright, this cube doesn't turn good, it's bad. Bad cube doesn't turn good, there's probably too many problems. However, this cube turns good, but has other issues. And so you sit here thinking to yourself, this cube turns really nice. I like the feeling of it. The tensions are a bit off. That's okay. I can fix that. You would think. So you spend forever trying to fix it. Also, what the fuck is this clown-ass music? So you're trying to fix the tensions, you're trying to fix the catching, you're trying to make things balanced, and there just isn't a balance. You just can't find it. And so you spend all this time trying to perfect this cube, and there isn't. Normal screws. It's just normal. It's normal screws. It's not like they tried something funky and like fucked it up. It's just a normal screw. But like, the problem is, you know, this song is distracting me. So the problem is, if you, out of the box, the cube comes loose. And when the cube is loose, these centers turn wonderfully. When you have this cube set loose, the centers glide super well. Just flow, perfect. The centers are really nice. No locking issues with the centers at all. But on a loose setting, the outers are unbearable. They're flexing all over the place. There's no like grip. You don't feel like you're grounded with the cube. The outers feel like they're disconnected from the core. So you don't have that feeling of I'm grounded with the cube. I can, you know, you don't have a feeling of stability. So you're like, okay, the outers are terrible. We need to tighten the cube. And then, so you tighten it and you're like, oh wow, these outers feel really good. Nice outers. I like the way they feel. They turn nice. There's no crazy, you know, like outer, like there's not really that many issues. The corner cutting maybe suffers a little bit, but you know, turn accurately, you're fine. The cube just feels nice, right? Now your centers feel like fucking bricks because you tighten the cube. The centers become unusable. And it's like, oh, well, fuck, now this cube is terrible for arguably a worse reason because I literally can't turn the centers. So your next step is, okay, let's find the sweet spot in the middle where the outers are good and the centers are good. Surely if one extreme is too much and the other extreme is too much in the other direction, if you go right down the middle and just move around a little bit, you're going to find that sweet spot. What happens is when you go right down the middle, your outers suck and your centers suck. So down the middle isn't a sweet spot of them both feeling good. It's both of them now feel terrible. So how the fuck they manage that, I don't know. So what you have to do is you have to pick your struggle. Do you want bad outers but good centers, or bad centers but good outers? Because you can't have good both. They fucked it, is what they did. The sweet spot is like non-existent. Is at least my experience. The way I have the cube set up right now, I'm kind of in that middle zone because it feels too unusable. Because like, okay, my outers feel kind of bad and my inners feel kind of bad. But I can't use the cube when the outers feel unturnable, and I can't use the cube when the centers suck. So I feel like I need to be in this sort of middle zone where now they're both bad, but at least they're both only kind of bad instead of both really bad, you know, or one really bad over the other really bad. It's really fucking hard to explain. So I am kind of using like now this cube just feels now just unoptimal. It just feels bad. Because now both the inners and the outers are bad, but if I try to compensate to fix one, it just makes the other so much worse. Like, I'm gonna try. I think I have a little bit of room to loosen it, and so I'm going to. I'm gonna try to loosen it, but I have a feeling the more I loosen it, the more problems are just gonna come up. Hello, JJ Dragon. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a loosen here. And when I say a little bit, I mean less than a quarter turn, because doing less than a quarter turns on this thing like fucks up everything. If you do like a half turn or a quarter turn, whew, prepare to have the cube feel completely different. You need to do like a less than a quarter turn. of adjustments. So you need to find yourself in the middle and then do minor adjustments. So I just loosened it a little bit. And now we're gonna see maybe this is a little better, but I have a feeling that the cube is gonna get more unstable now. And so that's gonna be a different problem. But this might be a little better. The centers certainly feel better. However, now we have other issues that aren't super pronounced so far, but as soon as you start trying to do algorithms, it feels a little bit better. Maybe you want to err a little bit on the loose side. I will say this cube has, the more I solve it, the better it feels, but it's taking so long. Keep being seen on stream. You're invisible. Oh shit. Okay, it feels a little better looser, but then again now I feel like I have less control over the cube. So it really is a struggle here. Also, I don't know how long I'm going to stream for because I need to get the video done, and I don't want to be up all night making it, so I want to end maybe a little earlier. I'll probably end about the 45 to hour minute, 45 minute to hour mark. Which is a little early. Apologies. But I want to get as much time into the video as I can. I'm going to end once I get a better... Once I feel confident with the cube, once I feel confident, I'm getting to the point where I feel confident in what I think. I want my opinions to be fully fleshed out before I start writing the script, and I think I'm getting to that point where I feel like I understand the cube. I understand what it is, I understand where it is. I understand its potential, and I think that's good enough for me. Here's the thing, I could sit here for probably another couple days and mess with this thing until it's a really, really good 4x4. And I could probably, get it to be good. Is that worth my time? Absolutely fucking not. This cube requires so much effort. I can't. It's not worth my fucking time messing with this goddamn cube anymore. And that's probably going to be the focal point of my review, is that this cube is it has potential, sure. But how much time, sanity, and just brain, headaches, are you willing to put into it? That's the answer. If you have tons of time, you're fucking insane, and you don't mind getting, a couple headaches here and there, then, yeah, this cube might be good for you. But if you're just a sane human, buy the Pi Cube, because it's half the price and just fucking works. I think from now on, every time I unbox a cube, and it just works, I'm gonna be so appreciative that, oh my god, I unboxed this cube, And it just works. And I can just, like, okay, yeah, I cleaned out some factory lube. I set it up. I tensioned it. Tensioning it took a little bit of effort, but I found it right where I want it. I found the sweet spot. And the cube works, you know? That's... I'm gonna appreciate that so much more after dealing with this cube. Because this thing is just a pain in the ass. It's just a pain in the ass. I would have given... If I wasn't making a video, I probably would have... If I wasn't, like, making a video on it, and I didn't want to be as potentially accurate as possible, and, like, you know, unbiased, and... Well, I don't know how I'd be biased. It's not like they're paying me. You get what I'm trying to say. Like, if I wasn't trying to, like, make a video and give the most objective opinion that I can, I would have given up on this thing a while ago and just said, it's not fucking... It's trash, it's not worth the effort, is what I would have said. But since I'm making a video about it, I feel obligated to put more effort in than that. But... Oh, how the fuck did that happen? I would have given up by now. So, what the fuck is your question? Which WC event would win if there was a battle royale between people who main each event? Are we talking, like, world-class cubers? Like, am I thinking of world-class cubers? Three by three is children. The sprint events are also children. So 3x3 and sprint events are out, because it's just a bunch of kids. I don't know who mains 4. I don't really know who mains 4x4 at the top level besides Max Park. Max Park, yeah, Max Park. Big Cubes is the only guy that comes to mind for me, honestly. Who mains? Who are like the really good Mega Minxers? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the people who are top Mega Minx. I don't think Square One. People who main Square One are too, like, they're too nerdy to win a fight. Sorry. But, like, when I think Square One solver, muscular strength is not what comes to mind. So we're not just talking, we're not talking just world class. We're talking the general people who main an event. Okay. 3x3. Okay. 3x3 and the sprint events are out. All children. Clock is all... God, that's about to sound really offensive. I don't know if I can say that. Clock is all... little silly femboy type people. I don't mean that in an offensive way. I mean that in the most literal way that you guys are all... You're taking E. You're not winning a fight. Sorry. What else? Who else is on the list? Like, when I think clock, I think Pulsar, and Pulsar is like... How tall is Pulsar? Pulsar is like... Pulsar is like whack-a-mole height, you know? Okay, Square One is a bunch of nerds. Is this just the question and try to get me canceled for generalizing people? I'm gonna keep doing it because it's funny. Big cubes, maybe, but big cubes are also like nerds. Big cube people are also nerds. I mean, we're all nerds. We're solving fucking plastic toys. What about FMC people? Yeah, but FMC typically has an older demographic, so maybe they have the age advantage. But they're real nerdy. Blind, I feel like, is also typically older people, but maybe they're less nerdy than FMC people, so maybe they got more muscle mass. What else? Backman. Why? When I say older, I don't mean 50s and 60s. I mean like people who are older than 18. Because let's be honest, if you take the average age of cubers for most events, the average age is like 12. You guys are all fucking children. Like, let's be real. I'm talking like you know, some people like, you know, FMC nerds are typically, you know, you're gonna find people in like their 20s. And people in their 20s are gonna absolutely ruin children in a battle royale scene. Sorry. It is what it is. What? I feel like there's an event I'm missing. 18 plus is an UNG status. Yeah, 18 plus is also I'm going to be a 12-year-old in a fight status. What event am I missing? What about Megaminx? Like, is Mega... Like, who mains Megaminx? That's the real question. Also, this drawer doesn't fucking close. Goddamn. Maybe it's big cubers. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is the clock people. No, but is clock children? Who mains clock? When I think of people who main clock, I think of Pulsar, but that's just because Pulsar is the only person I know who mains clock. And I'm sorry, 100 Pulsars aren't beating very many people in a fight. 3x3 with feet. What was the demographic there? Can we call them back? Can we call back all the feet solvers? Alright, I think... Let me get to like 100 solves. I don't... Actually, I probably won't in this stream because that'll take a little while, but I mean, I've definitely already done over 100 solves. But after this session. Let me get to 90, I think I'll end the stream. I gotta get working on the video. I think I understand this cube. Like, I think I understand the feeling of it enough. And honestly, I want the video to be done because I just want to upload it and I want to stop thinking about this cube. This cube has just been the only thing that I can think about for the past, like, however long I've had it. I'd like to stop thinking about it. I do want to make a comparison video of this versus the Vin and Aosu, like the three big 4x4s, like a shootout, like a point. Like it's kind of like a head-to-head point system type of video. I thought it'd be fun, where I directly compare all of them. That video will be more fun though because it's not really time. Like, I don't need to get it out soon. Like, this one is like the GAN 4x4 just came out. I need to get my review out because this is a new cube that just came out and people want to buy it and people want to watch reviews. So I need to get my video out as soon as I can. But the comparing the three cubes is like, well, I mean, I already have a video on each one, so it's not like, it's not a big deal. That, you know, comes out in like a couple weeks or a month or so or whatever. What do you buy mains might win? Yeah, that's, yeah. I was thinking like the blind events, or like multi-blind, big blind, you know, like children aren't doing that. Now, what I want to know is, ask this question, but like from a, we're talking top 10 in the world for each event, placed on teams, it's like a team battle royale type thing. So top 10 in the world for every event on a team. Who wins? I feel like 3x3 is immediately out because it's all children. There's like a couple adults. But like top 10 in the world for 3x3, like what percentage of that is like are just straight up kids? At least half, right? WCA. This question is getting out of hand. But I'm too interested now. Okay, 3x3, let's go by average. Yang, child. Who are you? That's a child. Hold on. Let me count the children in the top 10. Okay. Maddie, no. Child. Are you a child? That's a child. 2 children. 3 children. 4 children. 5, 6 out of 10 are children in the top 10. So, not happening. 2x2 might also be children. I don't know. Who are you? That's a teenager. That's an adult. Who are you? That's an adult. Okay, no, actually 2x2. 2x2's got some... Alright, hold on. Who are you? That's an... Okay, never mind. Hold on. 2x2 is looking pretty strong for the top 10. Quite honestly. That's a... Okay. So far we have 1 child, 3 adults, and 1 teenager. Who are you? That's another teenager. I'm going based off their profile. Actually, I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. Who's this? That's a child. Okay. And who's number 10? The teenager adult-ish. Okay. But some of the 2x2 people are looking strong. Like, they look like they'd beat you up. Alright, hold on. Let's look at square one. I guarantee you they're all a bunch of nerds. This is so rude. I'm sorry. Okay, they're not. They're just normal people. My generalization was false. They're all normal people. God damn it. I don't even... What would a nerd look like? How would I classify somebody as a nerd by looking at them? It's like high school level bullying. Look at a guy. You look like a nerd. I'm tired of clicking through and going back. The page is loading too slow for me to be clicking through everybody for every event. How the fuck? It's fine, don't worry about it. Nothing is fine, actually. Nothing is fine at all. The solve is, like, unbelievably bad. And it's, like, not even close to being okay. Started learning PBL. Nerd! Sorry. That's cool. I could never. Alright, this might be my last solve. It's getting hot in here, and I need to get working on a video. One more, like, good solve. And honestly, a sub 45 is good on this. For as you say in the cube is probably actually still better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. This cube hurts my soul. Is what it does. Dear Lord, it's making me forget how to solve it. Fuck no. Like, I literally average a good 5 seconds slower on this thing. Like, if your averages are changing between cubes, then that's a problem. Like, I can swap between the Vin and the Aosu, and my averages won't change very much. Like, it'll drop, but maybe on account of the cubes are a different size, and it takes me a little bit to get used to the new size. The fact that I can change between this and the Vin, which are the same size, and my averages are like... Like, look at these averages. Like, 50, 55, average of 5. Like, really? You know, like 50 averages, and then switch to my actual 4x4 session, and everything's like, I'm literally 5 seconds slower. Come into here, these, like here, let's do some solves on the Vin. I prefer the Pi Cube, but I'm using the Vin as my benchmark because the cubes feel closer in performance. And they feel closer in turning style. The Vin is a very, like, fluid cube, and it's, like, kind of swishy. And, like, it just kind of feels a little more flexy. And the Pi Cube feels very solid and aggressive. This feels very, like, flowy and whatever. So these two cubes feel more similar than the GAN compared to the Aosu. So I'm using my Vin as, like, my sort of... Okay, let me, like, swap to this cube and try it out. You know, kind of... Whoa. Whoa. Uh-oh. Oh, that's right there. My 323 look ahead has died. Also, I fucked up my cross. I very much fucked up my cross. Okay, this solve is not going to be a good estimate because I messed everything up. Apparently I'm just bad at 4x4 right now. Hello, Goomster. You've caught me at a terrible time. I've gotten now 3 terrible solves in a row. Just because I messed here. Let's not make any mistakes and see what kind of time I can get. If I don't make any mistakes, what can I do? Typically, you don't want to be making mistakes. Oh, here we go. I made a slight mistake. That's more about more what I average. Alright, one more on the GAN. One more competent solve on the GAN where I don't absolutely ruin something. That's not the right piece. That's parity. Alright. I think that's gonna be it for me for now. I think I understand this cube. Oh, I need to stretch, holy hell. Alright, so my feeling of this thing, I think I understand it. I think I get it. I think I've solved it enough. I've set it up enough. I've messed with it enough. I've studied the core, and I know enough about this cube to make my video now. But my thoughts are, before I go, I'll leave you with some thoughts. They severely overcomplicated the core design and severely underdeveloped the tensioning, like, ramifications of the cube. I don't even know how you go about deciding the screw strength, like, you know, spring strength, or how the pieces, like, stretch. I don't know. I'm not a cube designer. I don't know how the fuck you deal with all that. But they severely underdeveloped that part of the cube, because the tensioning is a unbelievable nightmare. Tensioning this cube is by far the worst experience I've had trying to balance any cube ever. Especially a 4x4, which are typically quite easy to figure out how to balance. You balance your tensions so that your centers still... Because, like, centers do better when the cube is looser. That's just how 4x4s work. So you get your cube loose enough to where the centers still feel good, but tight enough to where the outers still feel good. GAN, that's how you tension a 4x4. You find the balance between good centers and good outers. GAN completely fucked the balance to where loose means good centers, tight means good outers, but there's no middle ground where both are good. There's only a middle ground where both are bad. If you find the middle between the two, now your centers and outers both feel bad. So you need to push yourself to one or the other extreme to make the cube usable. And quite frankly, if you push yourself too tight, the centers become unbearably bad. Because, second point, they vastly overcomplicated the core design. I'm not going to take the cube apart right now. Here, let me pull up the picture again. They vastly overcomplicated the core. So there's constant internal catching inside the core, because let me show you what they did. Here's the core. And they vastly overcomplicated shit. Clicking all the wrong things. They fucked it up, is what they did. If you look here, it has a double shell design type of thing going on. So, like, this piece slots in here, and the center pieces here reach down and grab underneath the corner. I have another picture that shows that. Here, you can see. The center here reaches down and grabs under the corner. And all these extra pieces that are reaching down and grabbing under and cupping underneath other pieces for added stability, what it really does is it makes the cube a nightmare when it comes to corner cutting. Typically, I do not mention corner cutting in any of my reviews. You wanna know why? Because typically it doesn't fucking matter. People are over here like, oh, it's like, let me grab my Zanchi V5 and do a review. Whoa, look at this corner cutting, guys. It can do over 45. That's crazy. No, it's fucking not. It doesn't matter. Corner cutting doesn't fucking matter unless you don't have any. If your cube can corner cut, if your cube can corner cut 30 degrees, 45 degrees, past 45 up to like 50, as long as it can corner cut like, I don't know, that much, your cube's fine. It doesn't need to be able to do this. Because let's be honest, you're never corner cutting like that. So I don't typically mention corner cutting in my reviews because companies have figured out how to make their cubes corner cut enough to where it doesn't affect the performance, and you still get a positive benefit from being able to cut. So I never bring it up because it doesn't matter. However, I'm definitely going to be bringing it up in this review because GAN have... This thing doesn't corner cut at all. Like... And when it does, there's a catch. Like, I don't know if you... Here, let me see if you can... So if I do reverse corner cutting down the middle slice from here, there's... It rounds over and then it catches on something as it hits the center. Like, right? I don't know if you can hear it. Right there. I'm pulling and it's like... It's catching on something. Like right now I'm turning full force. This should turn, but it doesn't. Because it might be something in the back, actually. It's kind of hard to find it, but when you do right here, that shouldn't do that. Like, and I know what that is. That's all of the little internal double shell shenanigans they have going on, where now there's more pieces grabbing in more places, which means you're gonna run into issues like this. When you add more friction to the core, you introduce these kinds of problems. I understand that they're trying to copy what they did with their 5x5, because their 5x5 is really good. And so they're like, oh, we have a really good 5x5, let's implement the 5x5 core design into our 4x4. That makes sense. And surface value, that does make sense. Until you realize that 4x4s have these internal tiny pieces that move more, are more susceptible to moving. Because on a 5x5, all the pieces are like, all the pieces you see here reach down into the core and they're solid, they're keeping each other together. This piece right here, they're all here, they're all solid, so you don't have this corner cutting issue. Well, maybe you do, but that's because it's 5x5. It's a little different. But out here, you don't have this corner cutting issue, because all the pieces are external and they're solid, and they just turn and they just flow together. So you don't have the corner cutting issue. You do have lockup issues, but that's just, you know, if you're shoving around big cubes, you can force lockups, whatever. But since the pieces are internal, they don't move like this. They don't move like how they move on a 5x5, because the pieces are smaller and they're inside the cube, down under the pieces. They don't move the same. So they're gonna get in the way of your turns. If you're trying to do reverse corner cutting, those pieces are gonna get in the way. And, like, what the fuck is happening there? I don't know. Something right here is catching. Like, that is bad. And it's just, they got shit in the way. I'm snoozing the ads because I'm ending soon. Yeah, they shouldn't have implemented the 5x5 core design into the 4x4, because 4x4s aren't 5x5s. They don't turn the same, they can't turn the same. They should have done a complete redesign of the core. Which, it is different, obviously. You can't just one-to-one copy the core. But they tried too hard to copy it. And I used to always say, oh, GAN has a really good 5x5. They can base the 4x4 off of the 5x5 and they'll have a good cube. And I used to say that, and I now realize that that is not how it works. You can't do that. Because you run into this. Those internal pieces are absolutely, like, this should not be locking. Whatever this is like, you can't have that. The bin doesn't have it. There's no locking. It just slides. It just slides by. It's a little snappy, but there's no lock. With the GAN, when you do this, is you feel the first snap of the piece sliding over. Yeah, let me zoom in. When you do this, like if you do the reverse corner cutting, I'm holding it here so I can like just do it slow. You feel the piece snap over the edge of this here, and then you feel a second snap inside the cube. So you feel like snap, snap. It's like two right back to back. So you feel the snap of it cutting over, and then you feel an internal snap. With the VIN, it just slides over. You get the snap of it sliding over. The Ouster, how does the Ouster perform with this? Oh, wonderfully, actually. What the fuck? The reverse cutting is great. Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. GAN. You can just feel it. It's not good. I don't know how I'm gonna portray that in the video, because I feel like it doesn't come across on video. Because you can feel it in your hands when you're doing it. I'll have to find a way to portray that in the video. But anyway, I'm gonna go work on the video. I will see you all maybe tomorrow for a gaming stream. And if not, I'll see you Thursday, and I will see you Saturday is when I will be doing the 2 through 7 Minx stream. So if you want to catch me doing all my big Minx cubes, come by on Saturday. All right, goodbye.